Good morning, everyone. Today I'm going to make the presentation on natural language processing. Okay. So with the inception of machine learning, various forms of artificial intelligence systems are able to make decisions based on optimized learning algorithms that are trained using data sets. More recent studies have diverged from just learning how to process information. They have diverged from going from learning how to process information to be able to understand human linguistics. You might be wondering, why is this type of technology is needed when machine learning techniques can already do most of the thinking when computing? With the development of technologies such as optical character recognition and speech to text, clearly it's already providing an interface to allow humans to communicate with machines and processing algorithms. However, the accuracy of these learning systems is dependent on the input that is submitted into the algorithm. So simply passing human language nuances would not be enough, as it would not know how to interpret the language. Machines are not able to comprehend the nuance of language, which is why natural language processing has become increasingly important in the world of artificial intelligence. Natural language processing is defined as an intersection between artificial intelligence and linguistics, which aims to develop an understanding of communication using human languages by training a machine learning system to gain contextual understanding of human communication. This is done through the, semantic and lexical analysis of sentences to fill the gaps between communications that are generally conveyed through tone or contextualization. Some of the most common issues that are dealt with are sentence ambiguity, which includes identifying the composition of words by training it. Identifying the composition of sentence structure. As you can see in the middle image that's provided, it depends highly on context or understanding of what the context of the situation is to understand, for a machine to understand what exactly is being referred to. Another issue that is resolved is tone. Usually words themselves aren't enough to convey the context in which it is said, like the image showing the sorry. Depending on whether the inflection is high or low, it can convey the feelings that are meant behind the tone. Furthermore, another issue that's addressed with in human language processing or natural language processing is homographs. There might be words or acronyms that have different meanings in different contexts. And if sufficient context isn't realized by a natural language processing system, it will not be able to decipher in which context it is meant to be used. Now, how is this done by the NPL processing, by the NPL algorithms? First of all, it goes through a process called phonology, which is a study of how tone is processed in voice-based communication. It's not the most ubiquitous form of providing input into an NLP system, but it assists in recognizing words in a conversation to make sure that the right word is inferred. As you can see in this example, used by Alexa, it can sometimes mess up what is said. So a proper algorithm ensures that the correct context is taken through proper phonological analysis of the voice inputs. The second process it undergoes is morphological analysis. It identifies the origin of the words by studying the composition of the words that make up the sentence. And often it is done through segmentation and lemmatization. Segmentation, also known as stemming, it breaks down words to their root meaning. So in the case of studying, you see that the root is study, while lemmatization uses external context that that the processing system has been trained with to gain to identify the root object of the sentence. Thereafter, semantic and lexical analysis is performed. The semantic analysis happens when each of the phrases and words that are identified are associated with a piece of information that is extracted in the sentence. It also performs grammatical structure parsing to ensure that the subject, object, verb, and other parts of a sentence are able to be recognized, and therefore the sentence can be understood. It also uses dictionary usages of the words to understand, to get further context on understanding of the sentences. This is generally how the sentence analysis goes, or the semantics and lexical analysis goes by. You can see it identifies pronouns, conjunctions, verbs, adverbs, and it sees how each of the words also relate in context of the sentence to extract the meaning of the sentence in a very basic level. Thereafter, it does a semantic analysis, which is the final step of natural language processing, where it combines the structures and information that it has gained from the context of the analysis that are performed before, and it performs a verification to make sure that the final context or final interpretation lies in line with the context that was inferred through the situation. Now, I wanted to give a demo on a bot that implements natural language processing with its basic analysis built into the system. So it's a bot called Quillbot. It is not Grammarly, although it may be similar, look similar to it. Essentially, it's an assistant that uses sentences you type to perform these basic analysis. So first, I want to demonstrate. Let's say I take a text. I write, say, I feel bad today. Now, what is this? When you paraphrase it, it's able to infer the tone and the resentment, and gives you, depending on what form of rephrasing or paraphrasing it requires. It understands the context at once and then rephrases it. Anyway, okay. So depending on, let's say I feel horrible again. Oh, I feel. If you paraphrase that, it would use a thesaurus also to give you other words that could be used, other words that give the same tone, same meaning. There's also a grammar checker built in. So if you write I is happy, oh gosh, should give an error saying that I am happy. So it identifies a grammatical context and checks that the right word is used, right participle. Now, if you say like I is the 7th letter, it would not detect the error. So it also is able to infer context and see, okay, is it used in the right sentence structure and grammar? There are more additional functions. You are able to, if you have a very condensed sentence, it can usually simplify it. There is also statistics that it provides, where it gives a number of errors, the reading time it takes, the readability, which is also like the level. It can go from 5th grade to high school to professional to graduate. So it also shows the sentiment. So is it more positive, negative, and also gives different suggestions based on the scenario you want to write. So if you're writing a report, if you're writing a formal presentation, or if you just want to make a casual dialogue sort of situation. So yeah, that's one of the best implementations of natural language processing I've seen that's widely available. Thank you.